What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. Today we're going to talk about Charles Schwab buying TD Ameritrade. I've been hearing and seeing a lot of people talk about this ordeal. I'm going to give my opinions on it, and we're going to run through and see how much Charles Schwab actually paid for TD Ameritrade. What's going to happen with the two trading platforms that both brokers have, Street Smart Edge by Charles Schwab and Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. Will they shut down Thinkorswim? Will they shut down Street Smart Edge? What's gonna happen? Let's talk about it in this video. So let's jump into it. So a couple days after Schwab announced that they purchased TD Ameritrade, TD Ameritrade sent me this email right here. We're expected to announce that Charles Schwab and TD Ameritrade have reached an agreement for Schwab to acquire TD Ameritrade. The combined company will retain the Schwab name and will reflect the best that each legacy firm has to offer, including leading trading and wealth management platforms, investor education, award-winning service, and banking. This should bring clients like you an outstanding investment experience. For now, the transaction is subject to customary closing conditions and is expected to close in the second half of 2020. During that time, there should be no impact to your account or how you work with TD Ameritrade. So jumping to the CNBC article that they released here, Charles Schwab bought TD Ameritrade for $26 billion in all-stock deal. That is a lot of money. And there's something I also want to point out here. The two merging brokers, TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab, are the biggest publicly traded discount brokers. With them combining, they will have $5 trillion in client assets. That is a huge amount of money. Those two teaming up is pretty big. And if we scroll down, they give us a little graph of how much assets and money from clients that they have, with the leading broker being Fidelity with $7.8 trillion in client assets, followed by Vanguard $5.7 trillion, and now with Schwab and TD Ameritrade merging together, they have $5.1 trillion in client assets. Then going down the line, JP Morgan with $3.1 trillion, Bank of America with $2.9 trillion, Morgan Stanley with $2.6 trillion, and then the last one here, we have E-Trade with $500 billion in client assets. After seeing this, I was a little shocked to see E-Trade that low compared to all the rest of these, especially even if you were to break it in half, with Schwab and TD Ameritrade $2.5 trillion apiece compared to E-Trade's $0.5. E-Trade's gonna have to do a lot to get up there with these big fellas. They're a few trillion behind. But my personal opinion, with Schwab and TD Ameritrade merging together, I think it's one of the greatest things that could happen. Ever since they cut commissions from traders and all these brokers are commission free now, the competitiveness is pretty much going to go right out the door. I read an article. There are over 5,000 different types of brokers in just the United States. Those are a lot of brokers, and a lot of them are going to start dropping off like flies. A lot of people out there just have a TD Ameritrade account just to access the Thinkorswim platform, just for the customization with it. It's absolutely free. You can create your own think scripts, scan for stocks, and it's got a built-in news stream, Benzinga. Why I think that this is a really good deal as well You get both of the best worlds out there with these brokers and their trading platforms. Thinkorswim is more well known being technical with its trading platform, being able to create your own indicators, being able to share indicators, the customization with it, the charting, how easy it is. Now what Street Smart Edge is well known for is its fundamentals, its news, looking into companies, what are the company's numbers. So going back to what I was saying, you're getting both of best worlds with TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab. TD Ameritrade, you're getting the technicals. Charles Schwab, you're getting the fundamentals. The two most important things that you need as a trader. What I think they're going to do is they're going to implement both best features that they have and combine them together. Charles Schwab's Street Smart Edge newsfeed is way better than Thinkorswim's newsfeed here. I've used Thinkorswim in the past, and you were not able to access SEC files with Thinkorswim. With Street Smart Edge, you could quickly pull up if a company recently released an SEC filing just by clicking on it, clicking on the link, and it'll direct you right to the SEC filing that they put out, so you could quickly go over it real quick. And it's all about timing, especially if you're a day trader or a swing trader. And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, there are way more people that use Thinkorswim than Street Smart Edge. And then come to find out too, is recently Charles Schwab is a heck of a lot bigger than TD Ameritrade. Now real quick, let's just compare some statistics with the two brokers and their trading platforms. Going over the charting, with TD Ameritrade, when it comes to indicators and studies, Thinkorswim has 489 options, while Charles Schwab and Street Smart Edge has 41 right here. Drawing tools, Thinkorswim has 22, Charles Schwab has 15. TD Ameritrade will win this round when it comes to charting features. But the look of the charts, in my opinion, Street Smart Edge has that category all day. Just looking at these charts when they're zoomed out, you could just see them better, and even when you zoom in real close with them, I could see it clear as day with the wicks and everything. Me personally, I prefer Street Smart Edge charts in the way they look. And when you bring over Street Smart Edge charts, for me, a big turnoff with it is it just looks like a little smudge on a chart. And you can't really get an idea of what the candlesticks are telling you when it's this far away. Now, when I zoom in, it's perfectly fine. That's just always been an issue with me. That's me and my opinion. When it comes down to customization, Thinkorswim all day. They have so many endless options of indicators that you can create and tweak with. But then when you bring up Street Smart Edge, these are all the indicators that you have. And there's maybe 50 that are here. You could tweak with them a little bit, but when it comes to full customization, you can't do much. Now, when it comes down to day trading, I have day traded on both Thinkorswim and Street Smart Edge. And I have to say, Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade wins this category again, especially if you're trading small cap penny stocks. Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade was great for that. When it comes to Charles Schwab and day trading small cap and penny stocks, they're not really friendly towards it, I would say. You can do it, but when it comes to leverage, and especially if you're under PDT, they won't tell you how many day trades you have currently with Schwab. And like I said, they'll give you margin on larger to mid-cap stocks, but when it comes to small cap and penny stocks, they consider it way too risky, and they're not keen on giving you margin, and they would prefer you to use a cash account. Now the last two I want to go over is the research overview and the stock research. My opinion, Charles Schwab Street Smart Edge has this category beat by times 10. Charles Schwab has way more news feeds and news sources compared to Thinkorswim. And going over this overview here, all of the categories for the research overview for TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab are all checked, but they prefer the Charles Schwab platform. And even with the stock research, all fields are selected besides the last one they lose on stock research ESG, environmental, social, governance criteria scores. They both fail on that, but they overall select Charles Schwab. And then with ETF research, all fields are selected for both platforms, but they prefer Charles Schwab. Same thing with mutual fund research, and the overall, they would choose TD Ameritrade over Charles Schwab. Every trader is different. Every trader has different criterias that they look for in trading platforms. That's why when people always ask me what trading platform do I use and prefer, I tell them that I prefer Charles Schwab and Street Smart Edge, but then I tell them why I prefer it. Yes, I'm a technical trader, but I don't rely on technical analysis and indicators. I much prefer to look into the more fundamentals in the SEC filings and press releases and just use the basic indicators that they have. Moving averages on my daily chart, I'll plot a VWAP on my intraday charts, and that's about it. And I like to use volume and price action. And this is going back to people who like Thinkorswim. People who would like Thinkorswim love indicators. They love making and tweaking with indicators. Let's say they like throwing on a MACD and they want to tweak around with the MACD with the length of it and the averages, and they also want to plot in a price oscillator. This is where I'm getting at. Thinkorswim is more on the technical side, Street Smart Edge is more on the fundamental side. And now that these two have merged together, you're getting the both of best worlds. And I really hope that Charles Schwab doesn't mess it up and implement what they've just purchased, TD Ameritrade, and implement the tools that they have and the tools that they struggle with into their platform to make it just a monster trading platform, having everything and anything for every trader that's out there. It doesn't matter if you're a short seller, a day trader, a swing trader, a long-term investor, a fundamental trader, a technical analysis trader. It has everything. And a trading platform that has stuff like that, the competitors will just fall off. But that's going to wrap it up with my ranting and what I think's going to happen with this merger deal. Let me know what your guys' opinions are about Charles Schwab acquiring TD Ameritrade. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think they're going to get rid of Street Smart Edge and stick with Thinkorswim? Or are they going to get rid of Thinkorswim and stick with Street Smart Edge? Are they going to keep both platforms? Or are they going to take the best of both worlds, combine the two, and make the ultimate trading platform for every trader that's out there? And I think that this is just the beginning. Keep your eyes and your ears open for other brokers to merge together, or for Charles Schwab to buy up more brokers. I think the retail broker, this is the start of retail brokers slowly starting to fade off. And then when it comes down to it at the end of the day, so much has changed in just 25 years. We went from paying hundreds of dollars in commissions to place a trade, buy and sell, to paying nothing at all to trade. We've went from calling our brokers to place a trade to placing a trade just from the click of a button from the comforts of our own home or a handheld phone with a built-in trading platform in the phone itself. Trading platform fees are just about over with. Market data subscriptions is just about over with. There's only a handful out there that still charge for level 2 and NASDAQ quotes. And a lot of these free trading platforms out there have built-in stock scanners and screeners that are getting better and better every single day. Street Smart Edge has a very great stock screener that I absolutely love. And Thinkorswim has a built-in screener that's come a long way from the last time I actually used this platform. As a swing trader, a day trader, and an investor in the market, the time is now. There has been no other great time than right now to be a trader. The ball's in your court. Everything is set up for you to succeed. Take advantage of it. Again, leave comments down below. I really like reading and hearing about your guys' opinions and answering any questions that you may have. Like I always say, everybody, until next time, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. Later, everybody.
The most valuable commodity I know is information. Wouldn't you agree?